Catherine, you are live.
Hi, this is Catherine Maruri, your host, and that was Dr. Cooge, my director and co-host, opening our live show. This is Living the Life You Love, Episode 6, How a Veteran Rose from a Traumatic Brain Injury to Become a Master Chef and Pie Mogul, the story of Percival G. Lammie Sr. and Percys Pies.
Today's guest is my youngest brother of four. He and I grew up on the mean streets of Harlem in the 60s and 70s. In 1989, he joined the Army for a better life, full of energy and promise.
However, just after 2 years of service, he was in a near fatal motor vehicle accident in California when he was returning home from a friend's house. He fell asleep behind the wheel and ran off where his vehicle turned over 4 to 8 times. His brain bounced around and he suffered a life threatening, severe traumatic brain injury, otherwise known as TBI.
After 5 operations and 6 months of recovery and rehabilitation, it became apparent that he'd be forced to change his lifestyle and his career. He went back to school where he earned a human services and psychology degree from Metropolitan State University in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Percival went on to earn 4 technical certifications in O&P, otherwise known as orthotics and prosthetics. Orthotics is a branch of medicine that deals with the provision and the use of artificial devices such as splints and braces. And prosthetics is the branch of medicine dealing with the production and use of artificial parts. He has successfully practiced O&P for over 20 years. That alone would be a dramatic and compelling story of survival, recovery, and achievement. However, God was not quite done with him yet.
In spite of his TBI, he started his own business, Percys Pies, home of the gourmet Louisiana sweet potato pie. Percys Pies has grown from a passionate hobby to an expanded business venture, producing up to 2,000 pies a week for parties, special events, and festivals. Plans are underway for wider regional and national distribution.
His aim is to share his important message and inspiring story of how one person, even with TBI, can change the world one pie at a time. It is truly a pleasure to have Percival G. Lammie Sr., pie maker, chef, and self-empowerment speaker as today's guest. Welcome, Percy.
Thanks for having me.
Before we go any further, I have an exciting announcement for our audience. My brother Percival has a gift for those who stay to the end of this program.
Percival, let's start with your role in the Army. What did you do before your accident?
I was a ambulance. I drove a 4-liter ambulance Hummer in the military. I was a field medic.
When your car turned over multiple times, how badly were you injured and how close were you to dying then and there?
After the car rolled, I suffered the traumatic brain injury. I only remember the first roll. After that, I blacked out. What I was told afterwards was that it did roll 4 to 8 times. They don't know the specific number. And I blacked out. When I woke up, I was in the ambulance, and they were concerned that it could have been more severe, other than a traumatic brain injury. But I came out on top. I really did. There's been some difficulties, but I've been moving along, trying to make sure that everything is working properly.
When you woke up, what did the doctors tell you about your condition and chances of full recovery? How difficult was that process?
What I was told was that I suffered a traumatic brain injury, and as far as physical problems, back pain, um, hand, scar tissue, nerve problems, and and walking. So they told me that as I got older, it could get worse. That I should really concern myself with trying to get as much in as possible, working really hard to recover.
Wow. I'm especially moved by your story because my father fell off a ladder about a year ago and has also suffered TBI, which he has uh, he has permanently been altered. At the time of when he fell, he was vibrant and he was about 60. So he recently regained some of his faculties and his personality is starting to come back. Nonetheless, I realize that every case is different. And I'm curious to know, at the time of your accident, did you feel that TBI was the death of your dreams and personality?
Yes, what I found out was that it you realize after traumatic brain injury that you have some loss of memory. It is typical with traumatic brain injury to actually have some memory loss. It could, depending on where the impact was, it could be long-term, short-term, or even total memory loss. So what I suffered was some short-term memory loss, some long-term memory loss, but it was remembering people's names, stuff like that. I felt that I was actually fortunate in what I went through. There are some anger issues. There's depression. The anger issues are something of the traumatic brain injury. It deals with understanding what we had before and what we have now, and the loss between the two. It's not directed at a person, but it's directed at ourselves because we're trying really, really hard and we don't see the results. That's why.
My father experienced some of the same things that you mentioned, which is,
Hmm.
guilt and depression, and his moods were he was really different. So I can totally relate to what you went through because we actually experienced the same thing, and that was your experience as well.
Hmm.
So were you forced to change your career path? Why and what did you decide to do next?
I was forced to change my career path because part of my job was to maintain my vehicle. And one time I was crawling underneath the vehicle and I'd hit my head and didn't know that I was moving. The higher ups didn't want to have to write more incident reports. So I was retired from that, from the vehicle. And they didn't want to be responsible if I injured myself again. So was, that forced me into figuring out a medical. I was honorably discharged from the military, given a significant amount as disability to go back to school.
Even for someone who does not have TBI, you had severe, persistent, and post-operative migraines and headaches. So how were you able to study, take notes, and maintain your focus and pursue the career of your choice?
I was given the choice to become an orthotic prosthetic practitioner through the military. They gave me a choice and I decided to do it. Part of doing the job, going back to school, was I learned multimodality, which was to take the same material and actually try to learn it through note taking, taking the class, having someone else take the notes, and writing flashcards. Um, it was a work that was necessary in order for me to achieve my goal and have a support system.
That's great. How long did it take you to complete your education and how did you do in school?
Well, it was a 4-year program that was changed in the middle of the program, and I was told I needed a bachelor's degree to actually get into the practitioner course. So it went from a 4-year program to an 8 to 10 year program. And
Wow.
I was told through the military, as long as I kept my my grades up, that they would pay for it. So I studied really hard, and they paid for my education. Your tax dollars paid for it. So my goal was to be the best at it.
How difficult was it for you to get a job with your new career upon graduation?
It wasn't really difficult at all. I graduated top of my class, and I was one of the most sought after practitioners that came out of the school at this point. They flew me in to do interviews, did phone call interviews. It was very invigorating to be wanted in every place, everywhere.
I bet. I bet. That's awesome. So it's been 28 years since your accident. How
Mhm.
are you doing career-wise as an O&P practitioner, and how is your health now?
My health, I have some heart problems I have to deal with, but that's part of getting older. Part of the job is humbling, which means that no matter how bad my day gets, there is always someone that's going to walk through the door and actually have a worse day than me. So I became extremely humble. So and it makes me do the job better, because if I know that I can keep someone from hurting or reduce their pain instantaneously, then I do
Right
it.
on.
Here is where the pot thickens. Not only did you change your dreams, you reinvented yourself to take on another challenging career. How, and more importantly, why did you decide to get into the pie making business?
Well, it was out of necessity. Where I was living, I could not find a good sweet potato pie. I had an old family recipe and decided to change things a little bit and make it the way I like it. What I found out was that everyone liked it the way I made it. So it was one of those things that I decided to do, and started out as a hobby, and then turned into a full business.
Once you proved to yourself and others you could make a great pie, what made you think you could become a businessman, especially given your TBI?
Well, one of the things was that I had a good support system. Anytime you actually have a business, you've got to have a couple of things: a good support system, and for me, it was a behind the scenes to make sure everything was running properly. Um, the interesting thing is that the traumatic brain injury didn't come up uh, when I was selling pies. They just ate it and decided they wanted to buy some. so so um, it's keeping all of the product there and making sure that people try it. I'm enjoying the part. It's a lot of fun.
Now, making pies is one thing, starting a pie business is another. What was your greatest challenge in becoming a pie making mogul?
One of the greatest challenges was actually getting people to try it, especially in the African American community, where sweet potato pie is readily available. So what I found out was that getting people to actually try it. Once they tried and they knew exactly what I was doing, I felt fortunate that people were willing to at least listen to actually try the pie, and it just started increasing from there.
While Catherine and I taste your world famous gourmet Louisiana sweet potato pie, would you take 60 seconds to explain what makes your pie one of the best pies in the world and describe the 4 flavors that it comes in?
Okay. Uh, First of all, um, I am a textures person. I don't like the stringiness of sweet potatoes. So I took all that out. I turned it into a sweet potato pie mousse, and while it's still warm, I put it in a graham cracker crust. As it bakes, it caramelizes on the bottom, which creates a unique flavor. I make them in 4 different flavors: um, original, ginger snap, coffee liqueur, and praline liqueur. Each one has a unique taste. Everyone everyone has their particular flavor. There are some people that like the original because that's what they grew up with. The other flavors are there just so that people can get interested in something a little bit more or something different.
I just tasted the original sweet potato pie. It was like Mama used to make, as you said. I have 2-word review. Delectably delicious. Mama would have been proud of you, Percy.
Thank you.
I just tasted the coffee liqueur sweet potato pie. Anybody who knows me knows that I am a coffee connoisseur. And there is absolutely nothing that I'll do before I have my cup of coffee. Percival, your pie is exquisite. Yum,
Thank you.
yum.
Thank you very
However,
much.
don't just take our word for it. This is what others had to say.
My name is Paige McKay. I work with Carmel Valley Athletic Club and Refuge. The first time I had Percys Pies was in 2017, and I have been addicted ever since. I love this stuff. Every flavor I have tried, I think it's my favorite, and then I try the next one, and that one becomes my favorite. So I just keep cycling through.
My name is Stephen J. Shook. I'm from Carmel Valley, California. I'm a local singer-songwriter, and man, I just tried these pies. Dude, Percy's looking to put Patti LaBelle out of business with these pies, man. These pies are no joke, so you got to get yourself some and try some because they are.
My name's Ian Luna, and I just tried the original, and I was blown away. That was phenomenal.
My name's Anna Crumley, and I just tried the pecan pie, and it was delectable. There's like a little kick of flavor, like, oh, so good. So good.
What's your name?
Dr. Donald Tate.
And where are you from?
I'm from Eatonville, the oldest black incorporated town in the United States.
So you must know something about sweet potato pie.
Just a tad. And I just want to say, Percy, there's an old saying that when the cook is good, they put their foot in it. And Percy, you put 2 feet in it. I'm telling you, it's good.
That's awesome. My final question. I know you will not be sharing your secret family recipe. So
Oh, no.
let me ask you instead, what will you be sharing in your talks on your national tour?
Well, I'll be sharing how I came from Harlem and how the military helped me and how TBI has where I had a lot of that where TBI can create some chaos, but there's always opportunity in chaos, and how I achieved my level as a pie maker. I found that that the journey is not yet over, but I like it so far.
Awesome. First of all, I am pleased to announce today that we at LTLYL have agreed to team with Percival and Percys Pies in spreading the message and pies worldwide. Please contact me if you want to book Percival in your city or country. We can also make arrangements for him to bring or make pies at your local town. For information on Percival G. Lammie Sr.'s Percys Pies or any of our empowerment coaches, contact me at facebook.com/QuayleeWorks or QuayleeWorks@gmail.com or 973-498-8849.
Also, Percival, you have a special gift for our audience. The most important things family members and employees need to know about traumatic brain injuries, TBIs. What is that PDF about?
Well, it's 10 levels and for people who are in business or family members to be able to understand TBI, understand how to deal with TBI, and actually how to actually help to improve someone who has TBI. There are several different levels, but these are 10 basic important ways to start. And there's always improvement, and I'll be talking about them if people want to.
To get this bonus, contact us at kweliworks@gmail.com. That's KWELIWORKS. Give us your email, mention that you saw and shared this show with your friends.
Percival, your story is truly the story of a triumph of the human spirit and pie making against all odds. I loved it all. Your effort to improve yourself and protect the country by joining the military during Operation Desert Storm and Desert Shield. Surviving your near-death experience and fighting to recover and rehabilitate yourself. Reassessing your capabilities, your dreams, and having the tenacity and discipline to return to school for 10 years to retrain yourself, master new technical skill sets, and graduate at the head of your class. Your determination, passion, and love that led you to develop the skills to help others rehabilitate themselves and return as much as possible to their previous physical, mental functioning with prosthetic devices and physical training. Creatively using your skills and can-do positive attitude to give hope to others seeking to overcome the challenges of TBI or any other life-altering injuries. And your faith that fueled your leap from a soldier driving a Hummer ambulance during Desert Storm and Desert Shield to a highly trained O&P practitioner, a self-made master pie maker, chef, and entrepreneur.
Brother, I am proud of you for all of these reasons and more. You are also a proud father of a 30-year-old daughter who served 5 years as a corpsman in the U.S. Air Force and in the medical field. A 27-year-old son who is currently on his second tour as a cook on a battleship based out of Japan. An innovative inventor, that's another story that we'll cover later, and a self-empowered educator and trainer. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
For these reasons and others, we are honored to help you share your story, secrets, and wisdom with others. Additionally, today we are recognizing you with the Quayle Works Institute highest honor, the Living the Life You Love in Service to Others Award, to mark your incredible achievements. The award reads, congratulations to Percival G. Lammie Sr. for demonstrating by example the power of faith, self-discipline, and big dreams, which helped you to heal yourself, take control of your destiny against all odds, overcome the most challenging obstacles resulting from TBI, and in spite of that, living a life of service to others passionately.
Percy, you are a role model for veterans and survivors of traumatic brain injury and all those who struggle to overcome life-altering mental and physical challenges. Godspeed as you continue to share your story and journey around the nation and the world.
I want you to know that I will be watching this program with my father. Your story inspires me and gives me hope. I am sure that it will do the same for him. I love you, Dad.
Percy, thank you for coming to us all the way from sunny Marina, California. And thank you to our audience for joining us on our 6th episode. Please let us know what you think.
And thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of Quayle Works. Thanks to you, Catherine and Cooch.
You're welcome. I'm Catherine for Living the Life You Love, coming to you live from New York, New York.
And I'm Cooch for Quayle Works, coming to you live from Orlando, Florida. Free your mind and empower yourself.
Please join us next time when our show features Dr. Donald Tate, grief recovery specialist, who will be exploring the topic, how to free your mind and release grief. Until then, live passionately.